Get your booty checked up and check it out, because you know what, man? Listen, Meek Mill just dropped his response track. After like 6 days, he responded to 2 diss tracks by Drake. Okay, Drake dropped Charged Up and then Back to Back. Now, his response is called Wanna Know. If you guys haven't heard it, there's a link in the description. Check it out. But here are the simple facts, because I'm going to just break it down. I'm not going to get into it line by line. Rap Genius is there for that. And listen, let me tell you this, okay? I mean, Meek Mill dropped a track, but he dissed about like 10 niggas. I mean, we expected only Drake. Here's the thing, though, and here are the facts. Number one, Meek Mill exposed Drake, but nobody cares. He listed some solid facts, but it's shit that people already know. I mean, how could you diss and beef with a guy that people already know his faults and still don't care and love his music? Because here's where Meek Mill fucked up, okay? Drake basically set the rules of engagement, and he even said it. He said, you're getting bodied by a singing nigga. Okay, he's saying that, listen, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I am. Now, basically, you had to out-rap him. He said you had to out-rap him, okay? Or at least his ghostwriter, whoever you want to say you're out-rapping, okay? You also had to make a hotter song without rapping all the shit we already knew. It's kind of like 8 Mile, but not even really, because rather than Drake exposing himself, we just know Drake. Now, I don't want to go down this line by line as I said. However, man, I'm just going to talk about the impact the song made, the timing, the quality in general, and where do we go next? Because first of all, let me just announce it. It's 3-0 Drake, okay? I know you're probably wondering, what the fuck? Yes, this is 3-0 Drake, not 2-1. And the reason why it's 3-0 is that, Drake put out Charged Up back to back, and then this diss that Meek put out actually is working against him than for him. Now, if you thought people were clowning Meek Mill before, they're clowning him even more now. It just added more steam. Now, he should have probably took a couple more time, or a couple more days at least, to make sure this response was complete flames, okay? And now I'm hearing that this is only the appetizer, but at least for this moment, it's 3-0 Drake. Now, let's just review Meek Mill's missteps, because the biggest problem is that Meek Mill did not approach this beef strategically. Now, Drake obviously did. He orchestrated the cover for Back to Back, orchestrated the Blue Jays playing the Phillies, orchestrated OVO Radio, Charged Up, Apple Music, orchestrated the shout-outs to ARAB, using a dude in your own city against you, basically like how 50 Cent tried to use Beanie Siegel against Jay, even tried to get one of his enemies, which is Charlemagne, to basically get on his team since they're rocking with Hot 97. Listen. The problem that Meek Mill had is that Meek Mill, why would you tweet your ammo a week before, not expecting the guy who you called out to diss you twice in a song? Then basically, when you did come back and respond on the track officially, all you did was rap your tweets, because literally, other than saying some shit about Safari, or listen, the only thing you told us, okay, it's either Safari or Drake got pissed on. Apparently it might be Drake, but that's the only new thing we knew. Right? You basically fired off all your rounds on Twitter. You're basically shooting blanks. You came on the track shooting blanks a week ago. If you didn't do that, you dropped this song, people would be like, wow, the wow factor would be there. Like, wow, this is breaking news, but you already told us this on Twitter a week ago. Now we're like, we kind of knew that now. What's next? Okay. Now, people clown Drake for the night when we found about the reference tracks, but now we're finding out, and this is the thing that you're going to have to notice, okay? People don't care. I mean, me, I kind of care, but people, they don't care. People don't even understand the concept of reference tracks. Listen, you have to explain it, because people don't get it. People think reference tracks is the same thing as being credited on the album, and it's all good. Now, I said this on Twitter, and I was definitely right, okay? I said, Meek Mill is going to learn a valuable lesson in rap. Not only rap, but also the music industry, okay? Because in the 2015 State of Rap, okay, before you open your mouth trying to be real, as they say, just look around. Look the fuck around. From the top to the bottom. From the guy you're signed to, Ricky Ross, to the guy you're dissing. If you're trying to be real, just look who you're surrounded by, okay? Now, nobody cares. As I said, you said this whole thing about, listen, pray the real live forever and the fake get exposed is just a witty line. That's it. Nothing more. Integrity is gone. Now, listen, it's not me indicting Drake like, Drake is guilty of anything. But still, nobody cares enough to give Meek Mill the time of day to even investigate if Drake actually wrote those verses or even care, because they're like, those are hits. To be honest, you dropped the 4 reference tracks. If you guys don't know, there's 4 reference tracks. Meek Mill dropped this Rico, Used to, Know Yourself, and 10 Bands, which we heard already. Okay? People looked at those and be like, well, he's credited. People don't even understand. Now, your diss track obviously wasn't aimed to be the main course, because those 4 reference tracks you released through Funk Flex really were the main course, because it felt like your diss track was the icing on the cake, but too bad the cake was already eaten. We already said, oh, okay, we already admitted, oh, yeah, okay, the reference tracks are there. Now, once you realize that people didn't care, you should have switched up. When you're playing chess, it's not about your next move. It's about the move after your next move. Now, here's the thing, too, because I got to address the state of hip-hop, right? The sad thing is that, man, this beef is a reflection on the state of hip-hop as well, okay? Integrity doesn't matter too much. Fans care more about the confrontation, meaning Drake versus Meek, more than anything else. I mean, it's not all bad, though. I am the negotiator, and I could probably save this beef for Meek Mill, free of charge, of course. But I'm going to tell him how he actually pulls this off, how he actually wins. Number 1, okay, Meek Mill, okay? People have referred to you as Tweets Mill or Weak Mills, and I don't like those names because I think you're a really stand-up dude. I actually like Meek Mill a lot. But what you have to do is, number 1, get the fuck off the Pink Print Tour and lock yourself inside a studio. Saying you're on tour with, or getting money, as you say, or collecting bags, will not be an asterisk on this beef. Nobody's gonna care that you were on tour when you were beefing with the hottest rapper at the time. People are still gonna clown you. Number 2, you really gotta get back to the nappy braid, alarm clock flow, rapping like you're ordering food from the passenger seat out of a Buick. Come on, my nigga. Because that last track is too much skits. Ooh, nigga, we don't need no skits and interludes in a diss song. Now, number 3, while you're at it, man, drop another diss within the next 3 days before OVO Fest. And also, because you got to realize, if you don't drop before OVO Fest, he's about to bury you. It's about to be over, okay? Put Drake in your phone as a Google alert that when you wake up in the night, okay, because he drops his songs at like 4 a.m. If he drops 4 a.m. in Philly, you'll be the first to know, okay? And if he does drop that, the career might be over. Now, number 4, reply with quickness, because 4 days ago, had you dropped this track, right, it would have been received way better. But instead, you actually took a week and gave us this. Believe me, timing does matter. It's all about timing. Look at Drake. He's really organizing and orchestrating his shit with timing, from the World Series back-to-back thing to even the Toronto Blue Jays playing the Phillies. Come on, dog. Listen, you're not only playing against a straight nigga who's going to rap about the obvious, your appearance and your history. You're playing against somebody who's thinking on the next level. Number 5. You got to dictate the pace. You can't let Drake set the pace of this beef and actually turn you on people in your own city. Because listen, you have been distracted by throwing jabs at Daylight and everybody else. Now Drake actually say he's playing AR Ab while riding in the rape. Now you're over here dissing AR Ab. If you got problems with AR Ab, listen, that's beyond me. But deal with that another time. Right now it's you versus Drake. Now, don't bring Nicki into this, because here's the thing. Nicki's not helping you. She's hurting you, okay? It's something everybody could use. It's fresh, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you guys the truth, because this is about to get ugly, because when one side realizes the game ain't fair, a.k.a. people will laugh about Meek, about the Is That Your Girl tour or a world tour line, but they'll be numb as fuck to when Meek Mill disses Drake about him being soft, writers. That means Meek Mill's gonna get frustrated. Basically, when Drake throws a jab, everybody's like, ooh. When you throw a jab, everybody's like, that's it? It's not fair. It's not fair. The rules of engagement was set by the light-skinned nigga from Canada. Now, let me just say this. Because we're entering, and actually we're not entering, we're in it. We're in a new age of rap, where a rapper could release 4 reference tracks of another rapper of very popular songs, right? Recent. And the majority of the general public doesn't care, okay? They don't even understand the concept of a reference track. They actually think it just means quote-unquote ghostwriters or writers not credited. They think if it's credited, it's cool. Anything is cool as long as it's credited. They don't even know the idea behind a fucking reference track. They don't know that a reference track is really next level. Once I heard Rico, and I'm a huge Drake fan, fans don't realize what this is. When you heard Quentin Miller rapping Rico's verse, you basically witnessed the equivalent of applying to a college. And when it comes to the section that says enter your personal statement that has to be less than 1,000 characters, you basically take your brother's personal statement, your friend's personal statement, your cousin's personal statement, your mama or your papa's personal statement, and you change a couple of lines. You use their story. Or even better, a better analogy would be you took someone's math homework 5 minutes before class started, before it was due, and you basically purposely changed like 5 or 6 answers that when you submitted it, it didn't look exactly like his, and people wouldn't think you cheat, and people actually thought, that's really you. The fact is, fans don't care about reference tracks. You dropped it. You thought that was going to be the Hiroshima moment. It's not. Back in the day, you would have gotten 50 Cent praise and exposure if you had did this because it would have been a big fucking deal. Not now. Meek, you're up, okay? For a second, man, you got to put up a second track. I mean, your last one, listen, it's still checkmate for Drake. You're down 3-0. It feels unfair because it is unfair. You fired off your shots on Twitter. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do? Can you even win? I gave you the keys to win. But could you pull it off? Because you got to start thinking, not only rapping. You're saying the obvious. People are numb to that. You put out the tracks. People don't care about that. Okay, Drake is a phenomenon in hip-hop and just in being a celebrity in general. His L's have become ignored. Pointing them out is not even an L anymore. You saying that Drake lost is not even an L. So you can't make a track talking about did he smack you, which you did. Nobody cares. Everybody, you chuckle for a little bit like, yeah, that is kind of cool, man. Drake kind of like a bitch. He got slapped. But okay, what's next? It's sad. It's not a fair game, but it's one that you started and you should have knew because once you enter anything or about to enter anything or before you poke the lion, you got to look at some film. You got to look at some game film. You got to see what they're capable of. You got to see how people have treated them before. But you clearly did not. You clearly thought you being real. Now, I'm going to say it again. You're learning a very valuable lesson that before you open up your mouth, trying to be real or have a real moment in a room full of quote unquote fakes and look at your boss, Ricky Ross, all the way down to Drake. Just remember, if you're the only real one there, to be honest, you're the fake one. Okay, at least when it comes to people perceiving that. Get in the comment box. I've been told you guys though, the industry is full of exactly. Anyway, get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, definitely subscribe. It's your boy DJ Akademiks. I'm out.